everyone, Kelly here, and today I want to share with you my August TBR. So I'm doing this a little late, but mostly that's because I've already done my middle grade magic TBR, which is stacked right behind me, which is the Readathon that I am co-hosting the first couple weeks of August. So I'm focusing on those books right now, so I probably won't get to a lot of these books until probably next week anyways. So I didn't have to rush to do this TBR, but I wanted to do my scratch off books, the books you guys voted on through my Keep, Read, and Unhaul, and then a couple other ones I want to read later in the week. So first of all, let's just go ahead and do my scratch off. If you haven't been around very long, you might not know that every month this year I've been scratching off 2 books. These are books that I bought basically just book cover buys or things that I've heard of the author before, but I don't really know anything about the book. And so far I haven't had the greatest luck with these. I have DNF'd a few, and I've only had a couple I've really liked. So let's hope that this month we'll have some better books. All right, so we're gonna go down here. All right, and it is Magic Hour, which is a Kristen Hanna book. So I got this book at a thrift store because I had read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna last year and really loved it. You know, Kristen Hanna has become really popular since writing The Nightingale, and I can't remember The Great Alone, that's the other one. I haven't read that one, but those two are really popular. So this is a book that she wrote earlier, so one of her backlist, and it was just on sale. It had a pretty cover. I actually have no idea what this is about. It takes place in the Pacific Northwest though, so that's always good. Has a child psychiatrist whose career is in ruins. So I think this will be just kind of a drama type book. So contemporary, I'm assuming, and it's about 400 pages. So I think it'll be fine. So that one is a good one. I'll try and see if I like some of Kristen Hanna's backlist. And then let's pick one other over here. Okay, well, this actually works well with the month. I got Uprising, which is a middle grade book, which is perfect since, like I said, I'm still in middle grade magic. And this is Uprising by Margaret, Peterson, Haddocks. I got this at a library sale, so probably pay like 50 cents for it. And so I don't really know much about it. I believe it's historical fiction that takes place 1911 and takes place in a factory. So I think it's about young people that had to work in factories to make a living and stuff like that. And then it sounds like there was a fire or an uprising, a strike happens following a fire. I'm being very vague because I just barely know what it is from the back. But Margaret Peterson Haddocks is a very famous middle grade author. She has a lot of series and stuff like this. This is a standalone. So this will be interesting to try to squeeze in during middle grade magic. For a middle grade book, it is actually really long. Like, it doesn't have the big writing, it's regular size writing, and it's 327 pages. So for middle grade, that's kind of big, but that should be an interesting one as well. So I'm pretty pleased with my picks this month. Last month, I will tell the truth that I did not read my picks because they were a little more heavy, and I'm just not necessarily in the mood for that right now. So those seem like ones that I might enjoy reading. So let's do my Keep, Read, Unhaul, which are ones that you guys voted for a couple weeks ago. And so the first category was a book you wanted me to keep. And these were the 3 books you were choosing between: Room, Between Shades of Grey, and To the Lighthouse. And the one that won was Between Shades of Grey. So this is a YA historical fiction, so I'll be keeping this book. I'm not going to read it this month. I'm just letting you know what won. But then I also had several people write in the comment section that I should really keep Room, and it didn't win the poll, but since so many people personally wrote that they wanted me to keep it, I'm going to keep that one as well. But I am going to be getting rid of the Virginia Woolf book, To the Lighthouse. So I'm just gonna, this I got at a library sale, so I'm just gonna give it back to the library when they start collecting books again. So that was my keep. And then I had 3 categories of books you wanted me to read. I had you choose a middle grade book, a young adult book, and a adult book. And the middle grade ones, once again, I said it's pretty perfect because I'm still in middle grade magic. I'm sure I can squeeze in another book because middle grades fly by, and this is a long readathon. And actually, of the 4 books I gave you to choose from, 3 of them were a tie, and so I picked 2 that I really wanted to read because I thought 3 was too many. So these are two of the ones that tied. This one's so short, I know I can squeeze it in. This is Number of the Stars by Lois Lowry, which is a historical fiction that takes place during World War II. And I actually got the ebook version of this too, so I could like read it while my kids are playing outside. And then the other one was Red Leaves. And this one, a lot of people put in the comment section that they were really interested to hear about this one because it's not a necessarily popular book. I hadn't heard about it before until Kara from the Wild Book Garden talked about it on her channel. And this follows 3 different teens. One girl, Aisha, is living in a foster family. Zach is coping with his parents' divorce, and Iona's family is falling apart and forcing her to live on the streets. So it's 3 kids that are dealing with really hard things in life. So I think this one will be a good one to read in the next week for Middle Grade Magic. And then for the YA book that you wanted to read, it was this book won by a lot. This is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein, and this is a historical fiction in World War II about a woman who is a fighter pilot, and she crashes down behind enemy lines. And like I said, this one won by quite a bit, so I think I should read it because it got a lot of votes. So unfortunately, there are several historical fiction books. I know that's a very popular genre, so that's why everybody's voting for them, but it's not one of my favorite ones. But maybe this will like force me to read some more historical fiction and find out if maybe it is a genre for me and I'm just not giving it enough of a chance. So that was several historical fictions that have gotten chosen so far. And then the adult book, this one was no surprise that this one was picked. A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. This is like one of those books that like a lot of people have read. It's very popular. It's probably his most popular book. And I do want to give Bachman another chance since I didn't like the first novel I read by him. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. I just didn't like that one. So I'm hoping I'll love this one because this is one a lot of people like. And I think this is about an older man who's just kind of a grump. And I don't know if somebody comes into his life and changes him or what. There's a cat on the cover though, so that's a good sign. Hopefully there's a cat in the book because I love cats. So those are all the books you wanted me to read, and then the last one you voted on was which book you wanted me to unhaul. And for that, there were 2 books that got like a lot of votes. They didn't exactly tie, but they got enough votes that I'm gonna get rid of both of them. The one that won is Elmet by Fiona Mosley, and some people even wrote in the comments that they hated this book, so I'm gonna get rid of this. This is a literary fiction book, and I tried reading it. I got about 60 pages in, and I was just bored, but you guys very much voted for me to get rid of this book, so that's another one to get out of the house. And then the other one that got a lot of votes was When We Collided by Emery Lord. This is also another one that I read half of the book and DNF'd it, so it's probably good that I'm getting rid of 2 of the books that I started and never finished. It's probably a sign that I wasn't that interested in them. So that's 3 books out of that group that I'm definitely getting rid of, and then 4 books I have to read this month. But luckily 2 will fit into Middle Grade Magic. If you didn't see my TBR for that readathon, I'll make sure to link it down below if you want to see those books. And then the next kind of group of things that I want to read is sequels. So I just want to keep like chipping away at my sequels because I just am not finishing series lately. And so one that I want to finish this month, and I've already started this book, this is Mockingjay. I don't know if this, I might be farther than that because I'm listening to it as well. So I'm going back and forth. And sorry, this is a really shiny version. You guys know what Mockingjay is. So it's the third book in the Hunger Games series. I'm rereading those because I want to read the prequel, and I just really felt like it's been a while since I read them and wanted to reread them first before getting to the prequel. So if I finish that and still have time in the month to listen to the prequel because they have it on Hoopla, I might end up reading that as well. But at least I want to finish Mockingjay so I'm set up to read the prequel. This is another sequel I want to read, and this is the middle of the series. This is Lodestar, which is, I think, the 5th book in the Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. This is also a middle grade book, so I have started it already since it fits into Middle Grade Magic. I'm farther than that as well because I also have the ebook. A lot of these I'll like have either an ebook or an audiobook, and I go back and forth, so sometimes my bookmarks are not correct. So I am still towards the beginning though of this book. I'm probably only a couple chapters past where that bookmark is because I've been just reading 1 chapter at night before I go to bed. I'm also going to be reading this book for Tome Topple, which starts on the 8th, I think this Saturday. So I did start it a little early, but I'm still gonna count it because I just feel like I need to go with my moods, and I felt in the mood to start this at nighttime, but I'm going to finish this during Tome Topple, which is a readathon where you read books bigger than 500 pages. This is obviously a tome, and they always have a challenge in there that's read sequels and stuff like that. So I don't remember what all the challenges are, but I'm definitely going to read this as part of Tome Topple. I'll link that readathon down below if you are interested in joining for that. I think it's a 2-week readathon that starts on the 8th. And I might read one other tome, but I've got so many other books that I'm probably just gonna focus on this one. And if I get around to another tome, great, but I'm not gonna stress myself. She does that readathon several times a year, so I can always do it later. Another one series I wanna finish out this month is the March graphic novels. And I got these from the library, so I just wanna finish them so I can return them. I've already read March 1 a couple weeks ago, and so I want to read 2 and 3, and these should go by quick since they're graphic novels, and I really loved the first one, so I'm excited to finish up this trilogy of graphic novels, or graphic memoirs I should say. And then also I have a couple other graphic novels I'm going to read. I've been rereading the Lunar Chronicles, and I finished all the books and the short stories, and I just wanted to read the graphic novels again because I feel like being a completionist and reading the whole thing again. So I actually got the graphic novels online from the library. So I have the ebook version of the 2 graphic novels. I don't remember what they're called. Wires and Nerve, I believe is what they're called. So I have book 1 and 2, which is all of the graphic novels they are. And so I'll be reading those as well. And that'll finish out, that's finishing out 3 series and being in the middle of another one. So that feels good. And then and also finishing series, I am doing the Annalong 2020, where we're reading the Anne of Green Gables series. And this month we're supposed to be reading the final book in the series, Ryla of Ingleside. But I am still on the 7th book, but I'm like halfway through it. I'm halfway through Rainbow Valley. So I plan on finishing that. I've been doing this as the audiobook I listen to when I get ready in the morning. So it's probably gonna take me the rest of the month to listen to Rainbow Valley and then Ryla of Ingleside. I will finish Rainbow Valley and then do Ryla of Ingleside and just keep doing those as books I listen to in the morning when I get ready. And I'm excited to be finished with the Anne of Green Gables series after this month. That'll be fun. And I think that's all in terms of series. The only other thing that I know I'm going to read is that I have the audiobook out of Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This is his new thriller, and I am just like so ready to listen to this book. So I finally got it from the library on an audiobook, so I'll probably read it this week. And thrillers go really fast, so it'll probably take me 2 days to listen to this book. I'm super excited because I've liked a lot of his other books, so and I've heard good things about this because it's like a haunted house kind of book, and I'm excited about that. And then I also had another new release on audiobook. From the library I got All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, and I've heard that this is a memoir / manifesto, I guess is what it's called. So I'm assuming that it's nonfiction, and it's just about his experiences, and I've heard that it's heartbreaking, so I'm gonna try to read it this month, but if it's a little too much for me, I might push it to next month, but I definitely want to listen to this book sometime over like the next month. So that's everything. If you have read any of these and you want to tell me about them, I'd love to hear from you down below. And I will also link all that stuff about middle grade magic readathon and then Tome Topple readathon. And if you're participating in either of those, let me know down below as well. And I will see you next time. Bye.